Hey everyone, Crazy Jimmy here. We've got a pretty cool video, not a long one today, just going to show a couple bands, but I want you to see these and remember these and to check these out, especially if you are into like mid to late 60s Beatles. So if you like Revolver on up, probably Revolver to Magical Mystery Tour, I shouldn't say on up, including the White Album and all that. We'll throw that in there too. These two LPs, these landmark LPs, and these bands that I'm going to show you, these two bands for that matter, really fit the bill. These are 90s. These albums are from the 90s. These bands started out one of them started out in the late 80s. The other one started out in the early 90s. But these two albums I consider like lost Beatles albums from that time period, that era, and that's huge. That's amazing. It's a crazy thing to listen to, and it's not, what's the word, derivative? It's not. Yes, it'll bring to mind the Beatles. Even the vocals at times will bring to mind some of the Beatles, like Harrison and Lennon and so forth on these, but the song, these two albums are all their own, because there's like a different element thrown in there. You got the indie of the 90s. You can feel and hear a little bit of that, but also there's a little punk aesthetic, post-punk kind of thrown in that aesthetic. Although this is pop rock. That's what it is. So I want to start with Cotton Mather. Kentucky is the album. And this one here was from 1997. Now, they never pressed it on vinyl in 97. It was only CD. But the folks at Sugarbush, I believe Sugarbush Records, made this available, made both of these available, because they have just incredible taste. I'm wondering if this one might be by the band, not Sugarbush. But it comes with a 7-inch, and let me tell you, this Cotton Mather Kentucky, Cotton Mather's the band, Kentucky is the name of the album. Unbelievable. You will swear you're listening to like some lost Beatles album, but it's not. But you know it's not the Beatles, but it's just, you got to hear the whole thing to believe it. It kind of starts out heavier than the Beatles. This is probably what the Beatles might have sounded like in the 90s. But the first song, Camp Hill Rail Operator, sounds like Guided by Voices to me, which also sounds like, they can sound like the Beatles at times too. Camp Hill Rail Operator is very Beatlesque to me. Guided by Voices to me. Just in the aesthetic and the post-punk attitude that's thrown into it. And then you get into Homefront Cameo and Spin My Wheels and Before and After and on. And now you're talking a mix of like the Soft Boys and the Beatles. Just think about that. Throw the Soft Boys and the Beatles in a blender. When I say Soft Boys, like Moonlight, the 1979 Soft Boys, Can of Bees, and the one right after it. So if you like that combo, God, this album is right for you. Best way to describe it. A lost Beatles album, but brought into the 90s. Throw in a little Soft Boys there, a little bit of Guided by Voices, and you have Cotton Mather Kentucky. Unbelievable album. Really good. And then the next one I wanted to show you is by Orgone Box, also from the 90s. This is Confectionery, and this was also never released on vinyl back in the 90s. So these were put out by Sugarbush Records out of the UK, and I love Marcus Holler and his label, Sugarbush Records. Marcus is also such a good dude, and he's also been has his own bands going as well, with some great music. But he releases these incredible albums like by Pugwash and Orgone Box. This is the classic here. If you're wondering why I have two, one of them's green, one of them's black. The green was pressed 200, black 120, so they're very, 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 these are micro pressings, that's what they call them. Again, so Beatlesque. I Am the Walrus type Beatles sound here. So Magical Mystery Tour for sure. A little bit of the White Album, a little bit of Revolver, but again, updated into the 90s. I cannot stress enough, check these out. Go online, just check out some snippets. I don't want to get hit with a copyright, so check them out. This one here can be picked up from Sugarbush still for €7. The shipping is more than the actual album, but even with the shipping, it's not that bad. It's worth it. And then this one is long gone, sold out. Only 500 pressed, 300 with the 7-inch. So only 300 pressed with the 7-inch, which is this one here, on orange vinyl. So yeah, Orgone box, confection, and cotton mather Kentucky. You will thank me later, I promise you. Take care.